Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? It is Sledge without the sweet lips. I should just contact him and tell him I'm live, but nevertheless, how are you all doing? All of you, how are you all doing? And so let's go back over yesterday's topic that Sweet Lips and I was discussing corporal punishment. Now, is it doing more harm than good this day and time, right now? Is it doing more harm than good? Because I think it's doing more harm than good right now in this time, this day and time that we are living in. Let me tell you just why I say that. Because it seemed like when our parents used corporal punishment on us, it worked. You know what I mean? We're like, she not playing, he not playing, let's get it together. And now it just seemed like this day and time, if you use corporal punishment, then the kids seem to carry that anger and they carry it into the streets. And then they become confrontational. They do not know how to, I want to say, input or instill conflict management because they were never taught, because it was not used at home. So to me, and this is just my opinion, using corporal punishment now, and it seemed like, whereas back in the day, a long time ago, we would not dare challenge our parents. No, there was no such thing as that. We knew better. But now it seemed like the children are pretty much basing up to their parents, talking back. Like the disrespect is on such a high level that when they go outside, they tend to disrespect the teachers, the co-workers, anyone that shows signs of authority. Now our children are starting to disrespect them because, again, it was never taught. Conflict management was never taught at home, so they don't know how to instill that conflict management outside the door. And so, with that being said, I think still, and this is just my opinion, oh, we have some more people looking for attention. I tell you, YouTube, when I go onto my, when I use my laptop, I don't see any of the negative chats. When it seemed like when I use my phone, boy, you guys really be loading up. Stay off the grid. Look, everyone's a homosexual. Look at the gay lady. Staying off the grid, I'm going to take it that you're having a bad day. You're having a bad day. You must be having a bad day for you to assume that everyone is a homosexual. And guess what? If they are a homosexual, like, what business is it of yours? How does that affect your paycheck if you work? Is it taking food off of your stomach? Is it taking it off your table? Are your bills not being paid? So, look at here. If you believe that everyone is gay, then let everyone be gay. You just worry about who you are. That's all. And this is why we have these conversations, because it be people like you that you're so unhappy with yourself that you choose to come and try to ruin someone else's day. But I'm going to bless the rest of your day for you, and hopefully your day will get better. Now, Jonathan says, can I ask you a question? Sure you can. Bailey Smith said, ma'am, this guy's a troll. He is. But you know what? When it's all said and done, Bailey, even the trolls need love. They're just looking for someone to love them because, maybe they've never heard the word I love you in their life. There's no telling what type of trauma and drama that they have been through. And hurt people like to hurt people, and they look for a reaction. So when you give them their little 1 minute or 2 minutes, and hopefully they will get somewhere and calm themselves down and know that their negative opinion does not make a difference in the world. And the world is the way it is now because of people like them. So instead of always blocking the trolls, like, hey, you're having a bad day. Sorry, you're having a bad day. But your negativity reflects on you and your parents. Because if they taught you a little better, you would not be here. And if you are a parent and this is the behavior that you're displaying in front of your child, then they will become negative just like you. So let me say a silent prayer, and hopefully the Lord will repair your whole family, okay? Sorry. Now, as I was saying, when you instill corporal punishment onto your children, they become angry human beings, And the next thing you know, these angry people go outside of their door and they look for people to inflict that anger on. But if you come at your child from a place of calmness and understanding, trying to understand what it is and why did they do it, then I think the relationship would be better between the parents, the parents and the children, or parent and child. But like I said yesterday, every battle is not a battle. Like, we just can't take everything that a child is doing and make it our battle, because some things are just going to be childhood silliness. If you were in your days when you were young, you probably lied about something that made no sense. You weren't getting in trouble about it, but that need to lie, you told that lie. And if you were told no about something, if you took it and it didn't belong to you and you were told no, then that meant you stole it. So you did steal. Now, if you broke a glass, you did not go to school that day, why inflict corporal punishment for those type of things? To me, I just don't believe in it. We were all raised differently, and I was raised with corporal punishment, and that's why I don't believe in corporal punishment. I just don't believe that it works, because I just believe that is half the problem with these people that's out there committing crimes and stuff now. It's like, I want to say you're almost taking the childhood away from them when you try to put too much on a child. Like, if there's the oldest and there's 3 younger ones, now you have to take care of all 3, and then when you're done, you have to go do the shopping. And that's what we did. I did that back in my time. I have little siblings under me, and so it's do this one's hair, take this one to school, pick this one up, go do the groceries, mop the floor, you know what I mean? Do this, Cinderella. To when I have my own, I just refuse to do it. Like, even though people used to say, well, here your kids are 14 and they don't know how to clean. Never have they been in jail. Never had any problems at school. Got along great with their peers. And it was because sometimes when you go through your own trauma, you tend not to pass it on, or sometimes you can break that generational curse, and other times you pass it on. And that's why I say, and I'll continue to say, if you had any kind of trauma in your childhood, get the help that you need before you reproduce anything else. Because if you haven't healed yet, and you turn around and have a child, you're going to inflict, whether it was verbal, corporal, mental, you are going to inflict those things onto this here child. And that generational curse continues. Well, my mother went upside my head and I got knocked around, so, you should be able to handle it. No, if you didn't like it now, why are you doing it now? Why are you doing it now? So, in hindsight, even the quiet ones, the ones, Sweet Lips and I were talking about this yesterday, the ones that the parent gave them everything. You can get the finest clothing, name brand, take them on trips, but if you never really connect with your child and told them you love them and just hug them, but you're throwing all these things to keep them away, and all they see is, here's a new pair of shoes in the back of your head. Now, so that child have everything, and inside that child is lonely, that child is miserable, that child is withdrawn, that child is depressed. Here's the flip side of that. But if you feel that the pressure is getting too much for you, instead of you trying to unlive your child, why don't you just either ask a family member, or, I thought I was going to keep my child and I would be okay. But now, people are out here suffering. A woman, we go through these little things in our bodies where we can't even produce. That person is wanting a child. Why not take that child and say, here, I would like to put the child up for adoption. Whether it's closed adoption or open adoption, but to sit there and physically harm that child to the point that you have taken your child's life is wrong. It is wrong on all levels. And that is what's happening more and more. It's happening more and more. Like, you cannot turn on the news, go onto your social media, and you will see that a parent just did something horrendous to a 3-month-old. A 3-month-old. And I say it to bring it to this. Sometime when you have your children, need be, there's some men out there that have custody of their children, women, sometimes, things don't work out and we turn out to be single mothers. But, take your time. Take your time. That is something that we also need to be aware of. Like, stop bringing these people into your door that you have known for less than 30 days. And the next thing you know, they are physically, mentally, and sexually abusing your children. And because you want to be in a relationship, you turn a blind eye. I've said it before. No matter what you're going through. Some of us have to work 3 and 4 jobs to, it's the economy. Make the right choice when you say I'm voting. Make the right choice. But sometimes you have to work 3 or 4 jobs. In the midst of working those 3 or 4 jobs to put food on the table and keep a roof over their head, you still have an obligation to communicate with your child. If you took that time and you took that pleasure and, God forbid, and sorry for the ones that was forced into this act, that where you were violated and taken advantage of, if you feel that, mentally this is still bothering me, get that child up. But the moment you decide that you're going to hold on to that child, it is your responsibility. It is a part of adulting, really. And that's something that, you know, as the community, as I said before, it takes a village, but be careful who you allow in your village. You have to take that time out to say, how was your day? Let's sit here and read a book. Let's watch a movie. Sometimes things are free. They have little sessions, whatever, going on at the public library. You know, take them to the park, make some sandwiches, take a blanket, just have a picnic. If you know something that your child really enjoys happening in your town, save up. But it cannot always be, look, I'm busy. I have to keep a roof over your head and I have to put food in your stomach and I just don't have time for you, because guess what happens? They start looking outdoors. They start looking elsewhere. And then the streets pull them in and the streets start to show them love. But you know, it's really not love. It's more of join this game. It's more of, hey, why don't you try this? This is not going to harm you. Oh, don't worry about what your mother say, what everybody else say. You know, you don't have to be 21 or 22 just to go ahead and taste this. And then you wonder why you're losing your children. You're wondering why you have no control anymore. Because you're taking life's frustrations out on someone that did not ask to be brought into this world. That was your decision. And how you treat them, if they don't get the help before they conceive, is how they will continue that cycle with their own. And then here your grandchildren are being abused and you cannot step in to save them because you abuse their parents and you think that this corporal punishment is okay and it's all right. And so you tend to turn a blind eye and then cry later, if you even cry. So I am going to continue on with my list of why corporal punishment needs to be eliminated. You know, and let me just put this out there because this happens a lot. Let's say you did come from a parent that was very verbally, mentally, or physically abusive. And let's say they did apologize. Some that never get the help, you tend to want to hold your parent hostage. And what I mean by hostage is you're always, and remember you hit me here, and remember you pushed me, and remember you didn't feed me, remember that time you didn't come home. Like, you have to learn how to forgive. You really do. You need to learn how to forgive and have some type of forgiveness in your heart. And if you look at your parent and know that there could be something mentally wrong there, you have to have forgiveness. And if you believe in God and you don't have forgiveness in your heart, then you too will not be forgiven. And that's real talk. If someone have done you wrong, have abused you, violated you, stole from you, whatever, you have to forgive those people. You have to forgive them the way you would want the Father to forgive you for any acts that you have done that was not really a reflection of the Father. He did not look down and say, I'm happy with you. You want him to give you a second chance. So when that person comes and asks you for forgiveness, as hurtful as it may be, I forget what scripture, but the Bible tells us, I believe we are to forgive 77 times 7 or 70 times 7. That's how many times you are to forgive that person. But this is what I do believe. You can forgive them, but that does not mean that you always have to remain in their presence. Sometimes the Father will have you apologize and then close the door. And when the Most High closes that door, do not open that door again. Really. If the Holy Spirit is trying to remove you from anything that's caused you pain and say, this is a new chapter. You don't forgiven them, you're forgiving them already. This is a new chapter in your life. Now you have to move forward and not look back. Sometimes we cannot open that door. We cannot. Because when we do, the pain comes back even stronger. And now you're more angry. So, forgiveness. Have forgiveness in your heart. Even if someone has done something to the point that that person is no longer with you, the battle is not yours. The battle belongs to the Father. Even your enemies that continue to lie and do things wrong to you and show you no respect. The Bible said the Father will make your enemies, make them a footstool. The battle is not yours. It's not for you. It's not for you. Even this person that wanted to come on and be negative, I could have just hit the block button and or reported that person or whatever. But it's like, I just think too many times in this world, we try to meet negativity with negativity and we get nowhere with it. And as a matter of fact, if Satan really have a hold of that person and that demonic spirit is within that person, they will continue on. But the kinder you become and you have patience and just allow them to just whatever, you know what I mean? Sometimes they do come around. Sometimes they do come around. But let's just go through to this. Moreover, children subjected to corporal punishment may struggle with self-esteem and may exhibit higher levels of behavioral problems. And sometimes I just wonder, the ones that's out there just breaking into stores, looting for no reason. To me, that's a behavioral problem. Something's going on at home that you leave your door and go and break into a store and start looting. And sometimes it's what's put in front of their faces. The parents do it. And everybody go home and celebrate. What did you get? Oh, that's worth, X amount. And everybody's celebrating. Again, what goes on inside the home is how a child is going to act outside that home. Now, there's also evidence suggesting that such methods can perpetuate a cycle of violence, as children might grow up to view aggression as an acceptable means of resolving conflicts. And I just truly, truly believe that, because, like, why are you fighting someone because they made a mistake and stepped on your shoe? Why are you fighting someone because, I don't know, they called you stupid or something? And then here you are going into this fit of rage. Why? Because it was done to you. And that's why I say, parents, now, watch how you handle your child. Watch how you talk to your child. Watch the way you punish your child. But if you start young, they will get it. And some are just followers. But if you boost your child's self-esteem and know their self-worth, they are more likely to just steer away from that type of group. Truly. Now, in contrast, nonviolent disciplinary approaches such as timeouts and positive reinforcements promote healthier development and are supported by numerous studies as more effective long-term solution for behavioral management. Overall, the use of corporal punishment raises significant ethnical concerns and is increasingly viewed as an ineffective and harmful practice. Sometimes we have to break that generational curse and stop all that. Oh, because it worked for me, and oh, I got it with a strap, I got it with a belt, I had it with a stick. Like, at some point, we need to stop looking at our children like, I own you and I can do what I want to you, because in the end, what you do to them is what they're going to do to others. So, again, we need to bring the village back to help raise our children. Watch who's inside your village. If you see someone that's struggling, try to become friends with them. And when you become friends, that does not mean that you go and tell everybody, on the block, around the block, oh, this one don't have enough food to feed their kids, or, look at their children, look how they're dressed. No, offer some help. And if you have a family member that's going through something, help. We need to get away from, that's not my problem, that's not my problem, that's not my problem. But it becomes your problem when that child suddenly, meet up with you or see you and then try to rob you. Or you look up again and that child stole your car. Not to say that, oh, I have to raise this child, but it's not going to hurt. Really, it isn't. So again, we need to get back to the point that we are really helping one another. If you see someone suffering from some type of mental illness or whatever the case may be, and they have children, keep an ear out, keep an eye out. You see the child with scars on them or whatever the case may be. Like, it's sad to say, but in this day and time, the way our children are losing their lives, you have to call. You have to call. As much as we fear the authorities when they come in the door, because Lord knows you hear some horror stories how, you're looking for help and they done spun this out of control, and next thing you know, they're in there removing your children and giving you a hard time, but you have to try something. And I'll say it again, if you can take the time out to say, oh, look at this here basketball player, look at this football player, this actor, he's good, and this thing is, everybody wants to follow their trend, and oh yeah, this is my idol, this is who I'm looking up to, this is my role model. Grab that Bible and teach your child how to pray and let Jesus be his role model. Like, a lot of people like, oh, no, I don't believe in it. But everything that was negative about this here person that you're trying to use as a role model for your child, why don't you be the role model? You do what's right. You do what's right. Love your child. Have patience. And if they do something wrong, yeah, sometimes you have to use a form of punishment. Give me a phone, no TV, no company, no outside activities. Try those methods before you try going upside their heads. Try it. You'll make a better decision next time, instead of, oh, you MF and you're so dumb and I don't even know why I had you. We have to get away from that. We have to get away from that, because those little words are ruining our children's lives. Okay? So, thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts on God's promises for our children. And like I said, we will continue to touch on different categories under that, different topics under that. And right now, it's on corporal punishment and what is the outcome of corporal punishment. So I thank you. And thank you, Bailey. Stay off the grid. I hope your day get better. And Jonathan, I hope your day get better. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining me. And I will see you all soon.